The concept behind Echo Pond was really inspired by the client's brief to us that they wanted to build this Nordic-inspired cabin in the woods. But it was a challenging process to get to the point that is behind me. 3 years of working through what that design would be and working through the complications of building in an 11-acre raw site. And that raw site was fully wooded, and we knew going into it that we were going to face challenges with site work. We had to bring large water line all the way back to the house for fire protection. And we had to build a bridge over the wetlands, something that took months of approval. We ultimately ended up with over 100-foot long, really simple gable formed home, as we like to call it, a very house-looking house. So as you're approaching the home, you're getting the massing of it. You're seeing really how tall it is and how long it is, but you're not really being introduced to what is inside. There's no windows on this wall here, but there are these really intentional openings. The first one being actually the breezeway. We have the main living space of the home on the right. We have this breezeway here that frames that view of the pond. And on the left, you have the client's workshop. And it is very intentionally separated, but then connected on the second floor, which is wrapped up into that roof. The second opening is the first Andersen Liftslide product that we're installing now. And essentially what we have here is a double operable unit. We have this large center glazed panel in the middle and then 2 operable units on either side, which operate very similar to a door, but are actually screened and will be used as windows. So we'll walk back to the breezeway into what is the mudroom of the home. So as you come in this first door here, this is really the only swing door that we have in the project. Everything else on the first floor is actually a lift slide. And fun fact, there's only 1 window in the entire project. It's on the second floor, but we'll get there in a minute. So as you walk in here, you're approached with a pantry and a powder room, and then you get into the main part of this home, and this is really set up to be the kitchen, but also the dining space and the living room. You're essentially using this as multi-function space, but this is where you live in the home. This is where the family spends time. And again, you get these really large lift slide units on both sides, and these are situated as windows. As you loop around the kitchen space here, you have another really large lift slide unit and another exit into the breezeway, which gets you back not only outside, but towards that workshop area. Now, one of my favorite spaces in the entire home is the primary suite. Right off the living space on the first floor, and arguably one of the nicest views in this project, and really taking advantage of that view where the bed is situated against this wall, and you have this large lift slide unit in front of you, and you're looking out at the pond. Now, a really, really cool detail that Of Possible designed and Andersen really helped work through were these exterior pocket doors. So we'll have a glass unit here that will slide into a future pocket. So if you can imagine, this wall right here continues all the way up to this opening, and then our operable unit slides into the wall. And what's really great about that is not only do you have the glass here to, again, kind of soak in that landscape, but you have the opportunity to open it up and have fresh air and be able to step outside. So again, utilizing things like nature and the view, but also that fresh air in the design. And we've done the exact same detail here, which is essentially our primary bathroom connecting you to nature. So that whole first floor, everything is floor to ceiling. You can actually see behind that they're installing the track for one of those lift slide units. And what you'll notice is that our concrete slab was essentially stepped down at the very edge. And the team is installing all of the anchors in preparation for the sill detail. So on this side, they're in progress. And on this side, this sill is already installed. Our jamb is installed and our head jamb is installed. And this is prepped and ready for the units to go in. But in the final condition, you'll end up having complete flush transition from inside to outside. Speaking of concrete, this floor here that's underneath the masonite is all finished concrete. It's really critical to get the install right. Everything is, not only assumed to be finished, but appreciated as the finished product. So we'll step upstairs and see the only window in this entire project. So the second floor is different than the first in the sense that it covers the entire space and actually bridges right over the breezeway. So as you approach upstairs and you take a right, you have these 2 bedrooms. And I mentioned that there's only 1 window up here. So how are we dealing with 2 bedrooms and only 1 window? This is where we're really tucked into the steep pitch of the roof line, and we have these 2 really big skylights. And this is where you start to get that elevated view of the pond, tucked into the roof line and really, really thoughtful. And if you can think about how tranquil it will be to be in this room looking out at the pond. And into the other bedroom is a very similar detail. We have 1 skylight, and then we have this 1 really large fixed window. So the skylight here, and then our 1 fixed window here. And really one of the biggest benefits of building on an 11-acre site like this is the ability to tuck the home into a site that no matter where you look out, you have this connection to the nature, the landscape. So thinking about all of the challenges that we faced, from years of planning to months of design to months of really complicated site work, to be at this point in the project is really special. So working with Andersen, they were such an integral partner for us to get to this point, to understand how we could build the structure, to really be able to accomplish these floor-to-ceiling details. For those who want their home to reflect their story, Andersen Products provide versatility, quality, and craftsmanship that you can depend on.